on my way to get my practice in, because the number one thing that you have to do, you have to make sure that you get your practice in. You know, I've been having some trouble shifting. I've been having trouble like shifting up and just shifting overall. So I want to try to master that as much as I can. So that's what we're doing. So ideally, you would want to practice at a parking lot like this. The only issue is it has tons and tons of gravel to make it very slippery. You can tell by when you're riding, the rocks are hitting your radiator and it's hitting your motorcycle, and it's making a lot of noise. That lets you know that it's very loose gravel, you know, like little small sand banks and rocks. And so, yes, ideally this would be a great parking lot to park at. I keep saying park, to ride at, but it's very slick, so you have to be careful. So I would recommend anything is try not to go too fast and try not to lean when you're parking. Just try to practice on your braking. At least that's what I'm getting from it. I don't want to go too fast, or I don't want to lean, for the simple fact is I know is if I catch a certain spot, it'll make me slide. So like I said, this is the only parking lot that I know that is close around my house to where I can practice what I need to do. I get on the street for a little bit and then I do whatever. So even though I have my license and I know the rules and regulations of the road, I personally feel like I'm not ready to, ride along with the cars just yet. And I know the best form of, getting out there is to really ride with them. But I'm at the point to where I don't want to make any type of mistakes that can cause me to crash into someone or for someone to crash into me. So I'll continue to, utilize this parking lot so I can practice braking, shifting, all of those things until I feel very comfortable with, riding amongst the people. Now, I've ridden on the street several times. Even to get here, I had to ride, on the streets, but it's like the back roads. And so that's basically what I'm doing right now. I'm just basically getting my practice in to make sure that when I'm doing things, I don't have to think about it. I'm at the point now where everything that I do is I'm thinking about it. And you don't want to be that person. You don't want to be thinking about it. You want it to come natural. And so that's what I'm doing. I'm practicing, trying to be, so I can hear it. I don't want to see it. I want to hear the sound and become comfortable with my bike. So that's what I can give you all advice for, is to become very familiar with your bike, become familiar with the road. Look at all this loose. It's just very loose, like everywhere around this parking lot. So you have to be very careful on how you ride.
We talking about practice. We talking about practice. We talking about practice. We talking about practice.
I am officially not a freeway virgin. Got on the freeway for the first time. Did about a max of 80. I got the MT-03. I'm a pretty big guy. I'm not gonna say that it'll top out at 80. It can probably go a lot faster. But you know, I think I was on about 7,000. Let me see here. I was probably on about 7,000 RPM. I wasn't redlining it. It was a couple notches away from redlining it, but I was definitely on the 6th gear. The vehicle or the bike that I have is the MT-03. I'm about 265, 270, something like that, 6'1". So I'm a pretty big guy and stuff like that. And I'm pretty sure if I was a lot smaller, it could probably get up a lot faster and stuff. But for me, getting on the expressway for the first time, I feel pretty good about it. Let me say this, that wind is aggressive. Like, it almost feels like somebody has two hands on your chest and they're just kind of pushing you back. That's how it feels. But I would definitely recommend that if you are learning how to ride a bike, well, first of all, it's much easier when you're on the expressway for the simple fact, well, let me, hold on for a second. Fire trucks and stuff like that. But I will say this, like, for the most part, it's a lot easier just to be going on expressway. Now the danger ups because number one, you're going a whole lot faster and you got cars that are moving a whole lot faster. What I can say about you know, like passing people up, I don't know if I can do that because I was like really, you know, I was hitting the throttle and stuff. And like I said, I got up to about 78, 79, 80, around in that range. And that's what I was doing the whole time when I got up to the 6th gear. But for sure, this is a good beginner bike. So it's going to be a lot more, you know, what they call forgiving. But eventually, I've noticed very quickly that I will definitely need a more powerful bike. Like, for example, like this bike, you know, it's okay to be in 4th gear doing about 30 miles an hour. Whereas a more powerful bike, you know, with bigger CCs, you could probably get to 40 on gear 1. So I do know that in the future I will be investing in a bigger bike, maybe a 650 or 700, something like that, just to kind of move up. I don't need anything incredibly fast. I just need something to where I do want to pass somebody up on the expressway. I'm able to do that with ease. But the ideal of this is just to say that I'm no longer a freeway virgin when it comes to riding a motorcycle. Like I said, I was able to get on it. I was very, I don't know what's the word I can use. I didn't want to get on it because I was just in my head, and I just decided, you know what? you're already close to it. Let's just get on it and do your thing. So I would advise anyone who is riding the back roads and stuff like that, of course, use precaution, but just get on the expressway. You know, stay in the right lane and just do it like that. You know, cars, you know, if you're going too slow, they will, you know, pass you up and all this kind of stuff. You'll get looks. Be prepared that wind is going to knock the crap out of you. You know, it's going to feel like somebody is pushing you. And then, you know, when you're able to, you know, make your turns and, you know, do that, you know, use your mirrors, of course, and, you know, use your head gestures, make sure there's nobody in your blind spot, and make sure that you're not in anyone's blind spot, and just don't panic. You know, I feel good about it. I definitely want to get on the expressway again, but I think it is going to rain, so I don't want to risk that. So, yeah, I am officially I'm not a freeway version anymore. I got on there and did what I had to do. Like I said, the vehicle that I'm riding is the Yamaha MT-03. It's a 300 cc's. Let's see here, I'm 6'1", I'm about 265, 270, and I got up to about 80 miles an hour. Could I have went faster? Yeah, it probably would have been a slow climb. Realistically, I probably could have got up to about 90, maybe. I probably could have got up to 90, but it was really pushing it and stuff like that. So I believe that with this bike, if I plan on doing any type of you know, long trips or something like that where the speed limit is, you know, like 75, I'm gonna feel the vibration in my hands and my gloves and stuff. So just be mindful of that. But other than that, you know, the bike held up pretty good. What I was also learning on my journey was I have been learning to upshift a lot smoothly. I have been learning to downshift smooth. I don't want to say a lot, you know, smoothly, but it's been better than before. Like, this is the first time that I feel very comfortable with what I was doing. And you have to make note that when you are shifting, when you hit the throttle, whatever, to gain some speed or decline or something like that, the clutch is the main thing, because in my mind, you know, I'll pull the clutch, I'll let go of the throttle, pull the clutch, depending on whether I'm upshifting or downshifting. If I am downshifting, I kind of give it a little bit of throttle so I can match the RPMs, and I'm automatically letting go of the clutch. That ain't the way you want to do it. What you want to do, at least from my experience and just looking at a whole bunch of videos, you want to kind of slow down to a certain speed. You want to pull in the clutch, and you don't have to pull in all the ways, but you want to pull in the clutch. You're on a downshift, and at the same time, you're still kind of holding the clutch. At the same time, you're giving it some throttle and releasing, not letting go. I don't know if I should say releasing, but easing the clutch to let it go, and it'll go a lot more smoothly instead of just jerking and you got that engine braking and stuff like that. So I have been struggling with that for a while. Now that I got a lot more time to kind of practice on the bike, I want to get it to a point to where, like I said, I'm not thinking about it. So I think it's going to rain. I'm not well versed in that, so I am going to go ahead and sign off. I'm gonna probably get this thing back in the unit. It does need a wash, but we'll do that on another day. So I'll catch y'all on the Fly Motos. Peace.